Join, wager, cash in, get a $125 bonus. Details at tvg.com.
Okay, as promised, the Mirror Man from the announcer's booth at Santa Anita joins us. Frank, do we even have to ask you about your selection in here? We know you love every Baffert trainee. And then on top of that, the silks on the one here say Georgie's Pizza on the back. This is all you, the one War Academy, right?
It's funny you should mention that, but I do endorse Georgie's Pizza. I've mowed down some of those pizzas, and thankfully I didn't have to pay $1 for them either. So George Jacobs, very generous with the cheese pizza.
No, well, I got to know, because I haven't been to Georgie's Pizza. If people want to partake, where do you go?
Well, that's the whole thing. Mirror Man will tell you the truth.
No, it's mirror approved. It's mirror approved.
Okay.
No question.
That means it's good. That means it's really solid.
Yeah,
because
he knows what he's doing with pizza.
Okay, good.
I can live with it. But here's the deal. The interesting element of this whole deal, gentlemen, is War Academy, unfortunately, has to go down as my least favorite horse of all time because it resulted in my worst race call of all time when, unfortunately, I didn't see him getting pulled up in the Arkansas Derby. So, as my buddy Tom Quigley told me today, the racing gods have a sense of humor, bringing this boy right back with new silks to see if I could find him this afternoon, and I'm throwing him right out.
Well, I got to tell you, I do love the racetrack because no one ever forgets. It's like
right.
Everyone's got to remind you. Okay, so let's talk about your double approach then. So surprisingly, not using the 4 to 5 favorite, using the 3 and the 7 here. Looking ahead to race 9, we all agree that's a wide open race.
Yes, it really is. And I'm using the 3 Bourbon and Burley just out of respect for her mommy, Bourbon Bell, who was a great horse here in Southern California. I think the right horse there is Serene Melody, who gets the worst post position, gentlemen, on the inside. Actually, no, it's a mile, so it's not the worst post position. It's 6.5 a mile. At 6.5, it's the worst post position. That was last race. But Serene Melody, I think this is the kind of horse that usually I go for a lightly raced, luxurious horse, and I just don't see one that fits the bill. I think if you had to pick one, it would be Serene Melody. But I went 5 deep in here. I used Bourbon and Burley out of respect for Mama. Sweet as a Rose, a horse that I just threw in there. She's probably my least preferred. The 11 Penny Sixpence is everything I believe in. The only thing I'm worried about is that morning line of 8-1. Over the years, when you see a Neil Drysdale invader like this with 3 starts, you're usually looking at like 6-5 and a winner. So who knows with this obscure pedigree. And then I used the 10 Fable in there as well coming in from the fairground.
Okay, Mira, I know we're getting close to post time.
Oh, are you kidding? We're good, man. It's a field of 5.
Okay, we're about 4 minutes away. You're obviously filling in for the vacationing Trevor Denman. There's obviously a big opening coming up in the New York Racing Association. I just want to read this because I got a new follower on Twitter last night, and he sent me one tweet saying thanks for following him back. And then he also sent me this tweet, and I wanted to read it when I had you on the line.
Sure.
This comes from James Escarcega, and he says, at Todd TVG, here is my thought for the night. Can't think of a better guy to replace Tom Durkin than at Frank Mirahmadi, hashtag able replacement. And I tell you, a lot of people say that. How do you react to when someone makes a compliment like that?
I say thank you for your kind words is all I really ever say to things like that. But, we are the voice of Oakland right here, which happens to run January, February, March, so, we would never comment on such a subject whatsoever, other than to say we're very grateful to be here in the Santa Anita booth, and this is the ultimate for me, boys. Unfortunately, here's the bad news. I have officially peaked in my life because I'm actually sitting on Trevor's couch, and, he has a little, love seat here, and unfortunately the right side is taking a beating here because I do weigh about twice what Trevor does. And so I probably should sit on the left side for next week's activities.
The one question: has pizza been delivered to the booth yet?
There have been 0 slices of pizza. Pizza has cheese on it, which is an animal product. I'm respecting all of Trevor's wishes. I do have a box of Frosted Flakes, Fruit Loops, some Ritz crackers in here.
The best.
And
the best.
So a lot of Ricolas have gone down. Won a race, and I'm just
Ricolas.
I'm having guys, I can't explain what this is. I'll tell you what, after the Shoemaker Mile yesterday was the time when I just breathed a sigh of relief, and I really just felt like I was comfortable for the first time because, you just get that anxiety. But in the end, Trevor is such a supporter. You should see the letter he left for me in here, so supportive of me. And it's just, it's a great opportunity. It's the ultimate for me. What can you say? Paul, you've been on that big stage. You understand much more than I do what it is to be in a situation. But this is just, for me, it's like a baseball fan sitting in for Vin Scully. And, I have so many memories, especially today's Father's Day. My dad used to take me out here. I used to beg him to get me here. And now I'm so happy. All the aggravation I put my parents through to get to the track, at least I know now I'm able to fill in and just trying to do a good job for the greatest of all time.
Well, there was a lovely moment that we were privileged to be at, and that was with the California Thoroughbred Breeders Association when they inducted Trevor Denman in the Hall of Fame. The guy emceeing that night is the guy we're talking to, Frank Mirahmadi. So Frank obviously had a very warm introduction and explained why he thinks Trevor Denman is the best of all time. And then Trevor Denman, in turn, also told a story about the first time he met the Mirror Man. So trust us, everyone. You could hear it in Frank's voice, but this is quite a moment to step into that booth. And that's the one thing. All of us, before we got involved in horse racing, were fans to begin with. Yes. So then to be able to meet some of the people that you admired coming up and maybe even patterned your career after, and then have this opportunity like Frank is amazing. And as he said, you were a baseball fan before you went and played at Chavez Ravine.
Yeah, I remember when I was 9 years old, stopping Paul Molitor, who was my favorite player, in his, I think it was a Corvette at the time, and asked for his autograph.
Hey, wasn't he with the Brewers?
Yeah, he was with the Brewers. I
had his baseball card as a kid. I can tell you that right now.
Him and Robert Yana used to follow him. But the thing I love about you, Mirror Man, is the humbleness. I mean, you're a darn good race caller, and you'll never give yourself that credit, but you always give credit to Trevor Denman, the guy that sort of paved your path. And that's the same way I sort of felt. Mike Scioscia was my mentor, and I really felt I would have never played baseball, or at least catcher. He threw me a glove in 1996 and said, hey, we're going to release you, become a catcher. I said, let me learn. He taught me, and he was my mentor, and I owe everything to him. And so when I listen to you and hear you talk about Trevor, it's the same kind of feelings that I have towards Mike, so I get it. And I'm so happy for the Mirror Man that he's getting this opportunity, but it's well-deserved, and you need to listen to that, Mirror Man.
And Frank, we know you need to go. The field is nearly at the starting gate. Thanks for the time and the insight,
let me
as
close
always.
with these words, however, for you, Todd. The Miami Heat on the brink of elimination.
Oh, gosh, you had to bring
Take
it
it easy,
up.
boys.
All right, thanks.